Hey y'all, it's Shannon. Today it's Taco Tuesday in the Washburn house, and I'm going to show you how we make creamy enchiladas. This recipe started from Aunt Sandy, who is my sister-in-law, who I love dearly, who's probably one of the best cooks I've ever known. And she's a healthy cook. So, I made it unhealthy, of course, but this is how we do creamy chicken enchiladas. You start out with chicken breasts, and they look horrible, but I promise they're not going to be that bad. And you put them in you plop them in your KitchenAid mixer. Sorry, babe. And this is how I shred chicken. There might be a better way, but this is how I do it. Because I'm lazy. Did one fly out? See? That is so easy. And then I plop, and then you also put a package of cream cheese, and it's supposed to be softened. I just got it from Kroger, so hopefully it softened on our way home. Ugh. Ugh, that looks gross. I know. My hands are clean, I promise. Well, that's just not even worth it. So, I use my fingers a lot. So you mix that all together. And then I'm going to go over here and get an onion that I have chopped. I think you're supposed to cook the onion with the chicken, but I never do because we just like it a little bit more crunchy. And I put an onion in it, or half an onion, because the other half, half the onion went in the floor. The other half went in the floor. And you mix that all together. Now, how I differ from Aunt Sandy's is I use Rotel, because one time I was making this and we did not have a can of green chilies. I can't find Diggly Spot. We didn't have a can of green chilies, but we had Rotel, and we actually liked it. So you put a can of Rotel in it, and it gives it some moisture. Me and Tom have had that can opener since before we got married. How old is it?
College.
Tom had it at University of Georgia 100 years ago. It was the first time they came out with can openers. So you mix it together, and see, it looks so yummy. And then you put a little cheese in it because we like cheese in our stuff. But I gotta find the cheese. And you can use Monterey Jack, pepper jack, whatever. I just use what we have, and I think this is mozzarella. And then you get the cheese out, and you mix it in there. And I just say a handful. And then you get it all mixed together. And you let it mix, And if you want more spice to it, you can put jalapeños in it. Oh, Lord. But you don't have to. So you see it's mixed, and it's mixed really well. So this is, you plop this. And that is my phone. So, see, it's kind of a pink. So it's not really creamy, it's a pinky. Not pinky, but you know what I mean. And so...
No, we do not know what you mean.
Yeah, you do. It was supposed to be creamy. And it's Aunt Sandy's is white. Ours is pink because I put the Rotel in it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, this is how you do it. You have your casserole dish. You get your flour tortillas. And you roll them up. You put them down. You plop some in the middle. You roll, and you put the seam side down, okay? That's how you do it. So I'm going to tell you a story today. Our family has a ton of funny stories, and this is the one that nobody believes me when I tell it, but it is the truth. one year when Wes had just turned, Wes was a year and a half. For Christmas, my parents, who just spoiled all of us rotten, gave us for Christmas a cruise, a suitcase. We had a 5-day cruise on the big red boat, and we had 5 days at Disney World. And not knowing that when we went, I would be 8 months pregnant, and Sherry would be 6 months pregnant with twins. So, and Tom didn't go, because if y'all know Tom, he doesn't miss work. That's why he was able to retire a year early, because he had that much sick leave, plus more, which is a whole other story. But Tom does not miss work. So, Wes and I ventured on this trip alone. So, we fly into Orlando, me 8 months pregnant. I had a car, Wessie. I had a car seat because my mom did not want him sitting in our lap. It was during that time then they were trying to decide if it was safe or not. So he had his car seat in the plane with me. I had a stroller and all our luggage. So we land in Orlando, and Mom had rented every family a rental car. So I go haul everything I have to pick up the rental cars, and we leave Orlando to go to Cape Canaveral to get on the cruise ship. And it was so awesome. It was just a fun time with the family, and we had just had the greatest time. We all ate dinner together, and we celebrated Savannah Ray, who is my niece. We celebrated, I believe, her 5th birthday or 6th birthday on the cruise. It was just an awesome time. Wes just loved being with his cousins. He loved being on the boat. He never figured out that we were actually on the boat that we saw in port. Every port, he would like, Mommy, look at that boat. I'm like, that's our boat. And he never could understand it. So it was just a fun time until the last night. Next to last night, I believe. So we were, Wes and I, had gone to bed early because I have my kids on a strict bed schedule. And we had gone to bed early, and Wesley was asleep, and I was reading. And so I finally fell asleep about midnight. The captain comes over the intercom, which was in our room, which was really weird. And he said, ladies and gentlemen, I have terrible news. And I'm like, I sat up and I'm like, oh my gosh. And he kept going, ladies and gentlemen, I need your attention, please. Okay, I'm trying to be a foreign accent. I'm horrible at it. So I sat up in bed, and he said, ladies and gentlemen, I have an important message. I have terrible news. Well, Lord help us all. I always think the worst. And he said, the boat has been seized. Well, seized to me means pirates had come aboard, and they're about to kill all of us. So I had Wes in the room, and I was going to protect him. So everything that I could move in that room was in front of the door. And I was going to kill him with my toothbrush, because that's all I had.
And you were 8 months pregnant.
And I was 8 months, like I said, 8 months pregnant with Carter. And so I'm in the room just crying, think I'm going to die. I couldn't call Tom. But I was going to protect Wes from these pirates. So Dana comes down to the room, and she couldn't get in. She couldn't figure out why. And she's like, have you heard the boat's been seized? And I'm like, get in here quick. They can't get to us. And so Dana's like, Shannon, it means it's been foreclosed. They're kicking us off the ship. And I'm like, what? So it's not pirates? And she's like, Lord help us. So we had to unload in the middle. I think it was the next morning, they unloaded us in the Bahamas, and then we had to be responsible to get ourselves home. So that was an amazing cruise ship. It's another example of how I always think the worst when things happen. But we had a fun time. We still laugh about it. We went to Disney World, had the best time ever. Tom flew in over the weekend, and we did Disney World, and it was just awesome. But nobody ever believed that I was on the boat that got foreclosed on in the middle of the trip. So as you see, I'm rolling them all up, and Tom told me I'm talking too much, so I'm in a hurry.
What did your gynecologist think about you?
Oh, the worst part was it was on the news. So Dr. Siegel, who was my gynecologist, and also Sherry's, I went to him for my checkup, and I told him we were going on the cruise, and he's like, no, you are not going 8 months pregnant to the Bahamas. On a cruise, Shannon, that's just not smart. And I told him, okay. So the next morning, we were able to call out, and I didn't have a cell phone, because when me and Tom when I was a stay-at-home mom, me and Tom just didn't have a lot of money, so I didn't have a cell phone, but Mama did. So I went and used Mama's phone, and I called Tom at work, and I said, they're kicking us off the boat in Bahamas. I'm going to have to buy airfare for me and Wes to get back to Miami. You put cheese on top of it. Be careful. Love you. And so I called Tom, and I said, honey, I can't talk long, but the boat we've been kicked off. And he's like, what? And then the phone disconnected. So poor Tom is in Atlanta not knowing what's going on. So he called the news stations, if I'm correct. And so Fox came and interviewed Tom about what was going on, because Tom was the one that could talk, because it was gone all over. This company had foreclosed on all the boats. I'm going to put it on 350. And then you're supposed to pour heavy cream. I just use half and half because I think it's the same. Ooh, Tom, I hate to do some more half and half. And you pour a little half and half in the bottom so it doesn't dry out. And I'm going to use all of it, babes. And then, so we leave the, what was I saying, Tom? So Tom had the news people come and interview him, and he had a picture of me with Wessie. And it was on the news that night. All the channels showed it. Well, my Dr. Siegel, who I love, who's since retired, he was at home, and he was getting ready to go to bed. And they said, and Shannon Washburn from Alpharetta, Georgia, and her son have been kicked off a boat in the Bahamas. And he saw it on the news. So I went in to see him next time, and he said, well, how was that cruise? So he busted me. But it was a funny time, and we can laugh about it now. During the time, it was not funny. So I'm going to put this in the oven. You cook it on 350. You're supposed to cover it with full, but y'all know I don't like full, so I don't use it. You can also freeze this, but just don't put the cream in it yet. This is one of those that you could easily freeze. So I'm going to cook it in the oven. We're going to have a salad with it, and I'll come back to you when it's done. Hey y'all, it's Shannon. We are done. I chopped up some jalapeños to put on top because my boys really like things hot. So there you have it. We have us a salad, and we have creamy chicken enchiladas. I hope y'all are doing well. Remember to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram,
YouTube,
and YouTube.
Subscribe to us on YouTube. We're very blessed and lucky to have all the followers we have, but just keep sharing, and let's just see how far we can get this little country girl from Alpharetta, Georgia that shares her cooking and her life. Hope y'all are doing well. Bye.